Hey everyone, and welcome back for week 16 of building Air Kit and Lego. So this week is kind of a different kind of update video. Usually in these mock series, every update video I build more. But in this update video, I do less of building and more of adding lights to certain buildings. Mainly finishing the Scout Tower as well as starting to add lights in the Imperial Turret. Even though that may not seem like a lot, it takes a lot of time trying to figure out how the wires will connect to the expansion boards as well as fitting them within the Lego bricks, or in this case plates, and then on top of that trying to make sure all the wiring fits within the building itself. Adding lights to mocks definitely enhanced them, and just seeing it illuminated in the dark is just really awesome to see, because in the game there are actually two modes. There's daytime mode, where you see the mock on its certain planet during the day, and then a nighttime mode, which is the nighttime mode of that specific planet. So I feel like adding lights to it encompasses both of those two aspects of the game. Adding lights to any Lego build definitely enhances it, and once I start, I can't stop. Even though the process is very time consuming, the result cannot be better. I just want to say thank you to everyone who watched last week's update video. I'm very happy to see a lot of people are still invested in this mock, like I am, because I know there's been quite a bit of gaps in between some weeks, and just to see people anxious and still looking forward to this mock makes me really happy. So thank you to everyone who watched last week's update video. So without any further delay, let's jump right into this week's update. So to start off this week's update video, as you can see, I made quite a lot of progress off camera already. I completed all the walls that'll go around these two base plates where the Scout Tower is and where the landing pad is. And you can kind of see towards the back, I ran out of the medium blue 1x1 tiles that tops off the pyramid structures. And it's somewhere in the parts to build the armory, but I can just finish those later. But I just wanted to put all the walls down to see just how it looks, and it just looks so awesome right here. I love this shot. And you might be wondering, because I didn't mention in last week's update video, I was going to save putting all the walls on the mock until I had a count to make sure that when I do give these pieces back to Jay, that'll have the correct number, and actually differentiated what was already built and what I used Jay's parts for. It's just a matter of the different colored plating for the inside structure of these pyramids, so not to worry. So once I get to wherever it is, I think it starts right there, is where I built all the walls using Jay's parts. And so that's just something you don't have to know, it's something I have to know, so it really doesn't matter to you guys, but I'm just overall very happy with the way this looks. So as you can see over here, I opened up the huge haul of ComicBrix stuff. So as you can see, this big pile over here is cool white lights, 15 centimeters, and this will go mainly on the turret as well as what will go inside the armory. So as you can see, got the cool white lights. I have some micro bit lights that'll go basically in between like 1x1 tiles and plates, just because they're very small and they can fit inside those Lego pieces. And then here I have connecting cables, more connecting cables of different length. This one's 5 centimeter, this one's 15 centimeter. Some white strips that'll go in the armory as well. And then some expansion boards, more expansion boards. There's two different types. There's micro bit expansion boards for the smaller lights, and then the regular expansion boards for the regular lights. And more of the regular white lighting, that's going to go for the Scout Tower, because I did use regular white lights instead of cool white lights for the Scout Tower, so I might as well just keep that consistent across the entire structure, or building I should say. And then with the big order came a free ComicBrix minifigure, so that's also very cool as well. I might actually include this in the mock, we'll see, but nonetheless it's very cool that they gave me a figure. And then more expansion boards and just some more regular white lights. So overall, super happy with what I ordered, and I can't wait to incorporate all this fun stuff into this mock. This is quite a lot of lights, and I'm kind of worried because earlier today actually I broke the USB expansion cable over there. Let me see if it'll focus. Over there, which is unfortunate. So I made another order, ComicBrix order for 2 more actually, because in order to transport this MOC, this needs to be modular. So what I decided to do is, because these 2 base plates are already connected, I might as well just connect these 2 base plates so it can be taken apart in halves. So I'll have one USB cable going all the way out there to connect to a battery pack, and then once I wire the lights on this turret as well as the armory, it'll go out there. So technically there'll be 2 areas where you can connect the battery pack to, and I'm trying to get one of those battery packs that has more than one USB port, so that way they can just connect to one battery pack instead of having to buy 2 separate ones. I did request to have outlet where I am at the convention, but I'm not sure if the cables will be long enough, and they did say to bring your own battery pack, so that's what I'm going to do. And honestly, I'm very happy with that, because I was worried, because if I were to connect everything under that landing pad, which is where the one USB port was originally, I would have to kind of take apart the MOC to take apart the expansion cable so it could be modular. But this way it's already modular across the board, so no wires go in between these 2 base plates or these 2 base plates, only vertically between these 2 base plates and these 2 base plates. So I'm actually happy with the way that turned out. So before I dive too much into what I started doing with the landing pad, I am going to see if I can finish lighting up the scout towers, so that way, besides the minifigure placement, half of the MOC would essentially be done by the end of this update video. So enough of me rambling, let's dive right into that. So all the lights on this half of the MOC, the landing pad and the scout tower, is 100% complete. So this is going to test my editing skills. I'm going to snap my fingers and the light will turn on. I may or may not turn off the lights in the room. I'll see how the effect is. So, ready for my bad editing skills? So I hope you guys enjoyed my bad editing skills, but as you can see, I actually turned off the lights in the room. It's currently daylight outside, so that's why you see some natural light. But I turned on the lights in this half of the MOC at least, and I'm just loving the way it looks so far. It looks incredible. Originally, I really wanted to have these lights around the MOC lit up as well, but that just would have been so many lights, and again, I would have to squeeze them in between plates, because there's really not that... I don't think there's only 2 for every pyramid wall structure. There's only 2 bricks. The rest are all 1x1 plates. So it's gonna be really hard to wire lights all throughout the walls as well. And remember, the walls are gonna go around where that Imperial shuttle is at the moment as well. But taking a closer look at the landing pad, or excuse me, the scout tower, I tried my best to hide the wires of the lights. They're all within the middle structure of this scout tower. You can kind of see in here where that scout trooper is. You can see some wires. Again, I try hiding it the best I can, but when you're out like this far away, it's really, you can't see the wires at all. Let me see a little focus. There we go. So you can kind of see, very subtle. Again, I may wait until it's dark outside to get this room pitch black so y'all can see all the lights in its entirety, but I did add the microbit lights in between these 1x1 red plates just to add that extra effect, and I think it looks really good. It's the same on the other side as well, and then you can kind of tell, I showed this off in the beginning of the episode I think, but if not, I did light the bottom base of the scout tower a few months ago actually, when I was working on this MOC during spring break. So I mentioned earlier I ordered 2 more USB connectors because I decided just to have one battery pack that will have multiple USB ports. That way I can light up both halves of the MOC. So one half can be lit up on its own, the other half can also be lit up on its own. And so I think that'll work out the best instead of having everything wired or connected to the landing pad, because that's mainly where all the expansion cables, expansion boards are. So all the scout tower, it's connected to the landing pad, and the landing pad has that temporary switch over there instead of the USB port. So overall, I'm very happy with the way this looks. I just love the scout tower being illuminated. It just looks awesome. I know in a lot of previous episodes, the scout tower was either destroyed or complete, because getting those microbit lights again in between those 1x1 transred plates was so hard. Every time I put one in and then I put another one in, the one before it would become loose and break off, and so I'd have to connect it back in. So it was a lot of going back and making sure everything would fit, but I'm just overall really happy with the result. So enough of me rambling about the scout tower being lit up finally. As you can see, I kind of destroyed / disassembled most of the structure of the Imperial turret. So I'm not going to finish lighting the Imperial turret in this episode. Maybe I can. We'll see how long it takes me, but if not, I want to get started so that way I can know how to expand the lights here to go underneath the armory, because the armory will kind of be like the landing pad in this situation, the central hub of where all the expansion boards are and where the USB port will be, because again, the USB port will go behind the base plate over there. So after a few hours, I was able to get the lights wired into most of the Imperial turret. I think this is the hardest building to incorporate lights, just because a lot of the panels you see on the side, not even panels, but like walls that I built on each of the 8 sides are very fragile. So like if you tap it just the slightest, it could offset it or even break it. So I'm trying to fix that, as well as trying to finish adding lights to it. I didn't finish all the way, but I did most of it. Again, that blue panel that goes right there just fell off. I need to go back and rework this just a little bit, but for the most part the lights are in, and I took the switch and I connected it to the turret, and then I put it underneath the plating so that it can go underneath the armory when I start building that very soon. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. Basically all the areas where it's trans red is lit up, because that's how it is in the game. And what I really like is just the way the red pops. I wish that it wasn't just like one clear like dot that's lit up, which makes everything light up. I wish it was like the dot was more seamless, if that makes sense. But I think this gets the job done, and I'm overall very happy with it. Unfortunately, because the USB adapter broke, I cannot light both halves of the mock at the same time right now. So that means by the end of this episode, I can only light up this half of the mock with the lights turned off in the room. You might notice I did change the back. The back of this turret beforehand had like this grill structure, but I was finally able to find a reference picture, or more like a screenshot of a picture, just to zoom in on the back of an Imperial turret, because in the game, the head of the turret spins 360 every now and again, and it actually has 2 red stripes that are also lit up as well when it's nighttime. So I just changed the back and added those lights there, and I'm very happy with that. What was really challenging was adding the microbit lights to that 1x2 trans red structure over there on the angled wall sides. That was super hard, as well as trying to get all the wiring to fit inside this head. So all the lights you see on the head is inside the head of the turret, with the exception of the connecting cables. You can kind of see one over there. It connects to the head, which connects to the body, and that's how this whole structure is able to be lit up at the same time. I'm going to have to find a way to squeeze that inside the structure of the body or the head. We'll see. But either way, I won't be able to rotate the head as much, but it'll be able to rotate enough so I can have it at different angles through different hours, or whatever I want to do with it. I could have it face the edge over here to have like that mini battle scene, which I'm planning on incorporating, but we won't get into that till towards the end of this series. I'm just going to go right ahead to the lights out portion of this episode, where I turn off the lights in the room and turn on the lights in the mock. Well, in this case, this half of the mock, because it's mostly complete right now. So it's currently 10 p.m. and I turned off the lights in the room, so it was pitch black, and then I turned on the lights in this half of the mock. And as you can kind of see, I know it's hard. My camera's trying to focus, but it's hard when there's barely any light in the room to focus on something. But the lights on the landing pad in the scout tower are lit up, and I just love the way it looks. It gives a lot of light to the coral landscaping, and I really like the red color on the coral landscaping, and I think when the Imperial turret and the army are lit up, I think this whole MOC will be illuminated at night and you can better see the MOC. And that's the effect I'm trying to go for, because in the game there's like a daytime mode and then also a nighttime mode, and I tried my best to capture both aspects of it when it is light outside and dark outside. I don't want to zoom in, because if I do zoom in too much, then like you can't really see anything. So I'm going to try and get as close as I can to the buildings and making sure that it is clear to see somewhat. So on this side, and I know you can't see anything, is the turret. So hopefully when the 2 USB ports come in, I can light both sides of the MOC at the same time, and it will be really awesome to see that. So hopefully that will come in by next week's episode. So this is going to conclude this week's episode. So let's go to the closing. So this is going to conclude week 16 of building AirKit and Lego. I'm super happy with the progress I made. Again, it may not seem like a lot, but adding lights is very time consuming and very intricate, and I think it enhances the MOC. Even though I didn't really do that much building, I still think I made quite a lot of progress in the lighting aspect of this MOC. So definitely let me know down in the comments below what you think of this MOC so far, especially with the lights. I plan for next week's update video to finally start, well, I kind of already started, but continue to build more of the armory. I want to see somewhat of a building by the end of next week's update video. I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier in the update video, but I ran out of 1x2 coral tiles, and by the end of this update video, or as I'm recording this, the last shipment of coral pieces came in, so I was finally able to finish the coral that will go around the walls on the edges. And so I think next week's update video, I can also start finishing the walls. So those are my plans for next week's update video. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like what I do, go ahead and subscribe and click the bell icon so you won't miss out on any future videos. And I'll see y'all in the next video.